From the Crush Studio in sunny Florida, this is the Disney Crush Podcast. And now your two tempests in a teacup, Dave and Toni-Ann.
On this week's The Disney Crush Podcast, we are back for part 2 of our conversation with Glen Kessler, Rebecca Rudin, and Amanda Lamb, talking about our weekend getaway to Walt Disney World. It was whirlwind weekend. We went to a Speakeasy, a Michelin-starred restaurant, a very, very pink restaurant. We're going to talk about all of our dining experiences and some other fun we had at Walt Disney World while we were there for the Main Street 16. The Disney Crush Podcast, starting right now. You guys arrived on Wednesday night, and I arrived on Thursday, and that's really when the festivities started. We were all at Saratoga Springs, and you guys had to work on Thursday. Sure and did. I think Glenn made friends with the concierge desk at Saratoga.
Yeah, we went in the night before and I explained to them that I had to work remotely. I'm a teacher and I needed to teach anatomy with a boom arm camera down on a drawing tablet and microphone, and I needed quiet and I couldn't be disturbed. And I said, we're transferring from one room to another. Can I use some area that you might have that's a quiet space? And they said, yeah, we actually do have this one room. It's not available, for almost anyone. But he was like, listen, we could probably sneak you in there for an hour or two. I said, that's all I need. And he got me in there and it worked out like a charm. I gave a good lesson. I don't think the students were inconvenienced in any way. And, I have to record those lessons. So there's actually video evidence of me teaching a class at Walt Disney World in the Saratoga Springs lobby.
In a broom closet at the Saratoga Springs lobby.
Nicest broom closet I ever had. Yeah.
So, and Rebecca worked as well. And I got there just in time to let her take a lunch break. And we got to hang out a little bit. And then me and Jen went over to Disney Springs. She really likes Wolfgang Puck. She likes to sit at the bar there. She really wanted the burrata, and we were disappointed to find out that they changed the menu. The bartender there said that it had been a very recent change and that they were getting a lot of complaints. And Jen's beloved burrata was not on the menu anymore. But we had a good time, and he was a really good bartender. I wish I remembered his name because he treated us right. He really did.
First of all, who would complain about burrata? Where are the pitchforks about burrata?
He said there were too many
complaints, or that they changed it, right?
Yeah. The people
they were complaining. So why'd they take it away? This is what I don't understand. Why would you take away the burrata?
He said that they took a lot of things off the menu because there were too many ingredients and things were going bad. So they were streamlining the menu.
This makes no sense. Burrata is pretty much burrata. Jeez.
Well, they maybe they needed to make a different type of burrata salad. Right, because she said it was like shaved pear and different fennel and different nuts. And maybe they needed to, I don't know, do a more boring burrata salad. I mean, it's not as good, but maybe that would have at least kept it on the menu. I don't know.
And what's his name? Jay?
I don't remember. Was it Jay?
Yeah, I think it was Jay.
Well, he was very good to me. Let's just say that. So we have been, for about 2 years, we have been wanting to go to Kappa, which is a Michelin-starred restaurant at the Four Seasons in Golden Oak. We couldn't go during G3 last year. I think it was closed for refurbishment. We couldn't make it. I think for the trip last April, we had already decided we were going to Monsieur Paul. So we just couldn't make it work. So we did get to go this time, but first we had heard about the Speakeasy called Epilogue, which is at the Four Seasons in Golden Oak as well. So we thought we'd go there before dinner and then go to dinner at Kappa. Now, you guys, did you say you had just been at a Speakeasy in Vegas? Did you go to a Speakeasy in Vegas? So how did the experience compare?
I would say the one in Vegas was more Speakeasy like, but this one was a superior experience.
The service and all of that.
Yeah. The service, the drinks, everything at Epilogue was better. It's not quite as hidden or like difficult besides the password. Which...
So the thing was, you kind of they don't tell you where the Speakeasy is. Obviously, you have to go find it. And I was a little disappointed because it was pretty easy to find. And it was it was like 2 clues and then we were there, which I understand they want you to have the 2 hours in the speakeasy to have your drinks and relax. But I thought it would have been a little more difficult to find than it was.
I mean, I still thought it was incredibly charming. It did set the mood for this being a unique experience, which it was from end to end.
Yes.
Once you're inside. So I appreciated the effort. Yeah, it probably could have had, I was under the impression from some of the stuff that we had seen that there were like 6, 7 clues that we'd be looking for maybe some half hour or some like an escape room type situation.
Yeah.
And it was a little quicker and easier than that, but it was very satisfying to go through the steps. And of course, we don't want to give away the secret word or player, but I know Rebecca wants to tell that story.
Well, you could tell the story. You don't have to say what the password was, but.
Well, so we get there and they say, "What's the password?" We all look at each other. We have no password. They tell me that they emailed it to me. Now, I'm not the most like meticulous person, but I know that if I got an email, I would not have deleted it.
Right.
So then they're like, "Did you delete it? Are you sure? Are you sure?" We didn't have the password.
No, it wasn't in the email. You found the email, the confirmation email. It wasn't in there. The thing was, they wanted a name. They said somebody sent you. And when I walked into the Four Seasons, we didn't know where we were going. So I asked at the front desk, "We're going to Epilogue. Do you know where we're going?" And the person behind the desk said, "Oh, blah, I'm not going to say the correct name, but John wants you to meet him at the lobby bar. Or go talk to John at the lobby bar." So I got to the lobby bar and I said, "We're here for Epilogue." And they were like, "Well, who sent you?" And I didn't know who sent me. And it wasn't John. But
Oh, yes, it was. No,
Amanda Lamb just joined us, so we're gonna add her to the thing. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Oh, she sounds good. She's so cute. I love her.
they shouldn't say it right. Hi.
Hi. That's how I say bye, not hi.
You're not that excited to see us. You're excited to say bye.
I'm tired.
So we can tell.
So we did finally find out who sent us to Epilogue. Because there was a lovely couple that was with with us at the same time that was there, and they kind of let us know.
Well, but it was my understanding that they also didn't know when they came in, and then the couple that came in after us, they also didn't know, and so there was clearly a breakdown. I don't know if it was just the day or if they just go through that rigmarole every single day and nobody knows.
But these ladies behind the desk at the lobby bar were really like, they were strict. They were not going to tell us. And I just want to be clear. We prepaid for this event. It was $75 per person plus gratuity. You have to pay in advance on open table. So this is like $400 and they're not going to let us in. I don't know what would have happened if we didn't come up with that name. So
I think that was all a bluff just to add to the excitement, that this was a real speakeasy and we were in big trouble and the mafia was going to come and get us
for
not knowing the right password. Mm-hmm. But all worked out in the end. We did get the password. We even passed it along to the next group.
Yes.
And then we began our quest, which I don't know how, spoilery you want to get.
But we got that. We found it. It. It's very interesting because I said to my friends, our friends, that it probably used to be a broom closet and they figured out how to make, like $5,000 a night on a broom closet, which, whatever. They're not dumb. That was pretty smart of them. They put up some drapes and
the second coolest broom closet I experienced.
Probably. But Rebecca, do you want to describe the room a little bit? Like what?
Yeah, so it's kind of like a library theme. So you walk in and there's an entrance and then it's just really one room. There was probably like maybe 6 or 7 tables and a super small bar in the corner.
Yeah. And they give you a 2-hour window. And I think there were 6 o'clock reservations. There were 8 o'clock reservations. I don't know how late they're open.
I also don't know that.
So it's very limited each night. And you make the reservation on open table.
It was so small. We were having just a casual conversation, raised voices with our waiter, and he was mentioning the bartender on the opposite side of the space. And the bartender was just listening to the conversation, and he just answered right into it. And we were talking to him 20 feet, maybe. It was very intimate. It felt larger. It felt larger, though. It felt well appointed and well designed. I would say Disney level ish.
Oh yeah.
Aiming no animatronics, but really they had followed through with the whole library and like speakeasy kind of vibe, that kind of crossover between kind of steampunky, kind of nerdy and just perfect for us. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So the cocktails were craft cocktails. To the umpteenth degree, down to knowing where all the ingredients were grown, and it was very personalized because even some of the ingredients were very local. Some of the employees were involved with some of the agriculture going into some of the ingredients. They said, "Oh, the bacon came from Judy's pigs, and Judy works here every Tuesday night." It was very interesting, but the descriptions of the cocktails, our server, I don't remember his name. I feel terrible. Do you remember? He was,
it was two names, like Mike something.
Oh, that's right. He had a name. It was, I don't think it was actually, I think it was more of a character, but.
Can we say hi to Garrison real quick? Shout out to Garrison.
I don't think Garrison can hear you.
What's up, big guy? I love those PJs, man.
Thanks.
Jack Skellington. That's awesome. They have the footies or open foot.
Show him the hood.
And this is Garrison.
I'm Jack Skellington. I'm getting pumpkins. Ruin your Christmas.
He's gonna ruin our
Don't
Christmas.
ruin my Christmas, you son of a gun.
I can't even begin to describe what the descriptions of the drink were like.
Yeah.
Glenn, do you have any?
I do not have the photographic memory.
Each drink was 2 pages or 3 pages of description. And then he told on top of that another story.
Right. There was a story that went with every drink, even the bee's knees, which is not like an original cocktail. That's something you could order elsewhere. Even that he had an extensive description of.
I think it was charming that the menu, quote unquote menu, was stitched into a book. They had put a little reading light clamped into that book that separated the real menu from the fake, from the book, the original book. And that was obviously necessary also because it was incredibly dark, moody in that space. So that allowed old folks like myself to be able to read it. And then, like a book, it had a table of contents, which was actually the list of all the drinks. You could turn to each of those pages and then read deeper and with illustrations about the drinks and the ingredients. And it was a real quest. I don't feel, even in the amount of time that we were in there, which was sizable, that I gave enough time to reading through those. I started to read them, but I was just so excited to get into the experience that I didn't, we didn't read all the stories. But then to our wonderful surprise, after ordering, the drinks were brought out pretty much one at a time because there was such a lavish presentation, a discussion of every element, where it came from, as you said, Toni-Ann. And it really made the experience so special. Our waiter was also very well versed in the history and the provenance of the the ingredients, but also there was that literature kind of edge. He had, I wouldn't say like a twisty, kind of beard from the 20s, but it was like just short of that. He was perfectly cast and dressed to the nines. It's wonderful.
And he, like your drink. Now I've had a few meals with you. I know you love a smoky drink, but you had gone to the bathroom and the person across from us had gotten that drink, the same drink, and we're like, "Oh, that's Glenn's drink. We know that's Glenn." And this was the smoky drink was so smoky. The whole room got smelled like smoke. It was wonderful, though. It was the aroma was amazing.
Yeah, when I came back from the restroom, not realizing that had happened, I could smell the smoke, and I was like, what's going on there? I figured I think I said out loud, I was like, I think that was an old fashioned, was that, and that's what I ended up ordering. It came in a box. You open the box. It was amazing presentation and super smoky. And then the drink was outstanding. The drink was great. I think all of us enjoyed our first drink.
Yeah.
Maybe a little lower response for the second drinks, but it was a show. It really was a show.
Yeah, I think we all picked that first drink would be like the drink that appealed to us most was our first drink.
Right.
And the second drink we picked something else because we wanted to try something else on the menu, but it might not have appealed to us as much as the first drink. So
and we didn't want to double up with each other, so we really branched out into maybe things we wouldn't necessarily order.
Right.
Should we tell them the best part of the experience was the little snacky poo that came with it?
Oh yeah, there was a snack.
Was popcorn with rosemary, which is always great, but then these crusty Parmesan baked bites that were mixed in there. And now that is the only way I'm going to eat popcorn from now on. But they're super easy to make. You just put some parchment paper down and throw some Parmesan cheese in the oven and bake it, and it becomes a crisp. But that combo was so good, and we destroyed 2, 3,
4. It was 4. We each got
bowls. 4 bowls.
4 bowls of it.
So
that may have been the best thing we had all night. No,
it may have been.
I would definitely go back. I think that the experience was amazing. We were not allowed to take any pictures inside, but it was really, really neat. And I would definitely go back.
I'd like to know if they changed the menu.
Oh, if they change it from season to season, maybe that feels like the vibe of that place, actually.
Because I would definitely go back, and I love my first drink, and I would probably get what you got, Toni-Ann, for my second drink. But I don't know how many times you would go back at that price point if the drinks didn't change at all.
Right.
Well, I know our friend Jen Wynn is hopefully going, but is now reserved to go to that space. And I was mentioning to her, wear your flapper dress, which I know she has. And, and her husband, Kent, is he going on that trip? I think too.
Yes. And
he's got a wonderful
couple's cup.
He's got a wonderful suit blazer and would be right in theme. Men, if you have mustaches, twirl them if you can. Ladies, wear as close to flapper dresses or something with fringes and just ride it, because it was such a great deep themed experience. Not Disney, at the Four Seasons, obviously, but as close to Disney as I think we could reasonably get, and really on par. Can I tell you real quick? It gave me vibes of what I was always ever hoping Abracadabra would be.
Yes.
And so I was very much looking forward to this experience, and it delivered. It was not quite as I said, like escape room entry, but once we were in there, this was an absolute great top tier, top notch experience.
Yeah. I think we knew when we sat down that we were going to have a good time. So we were already at the Four Seasons, and we had been wanting to go to Kappa for many years now. So we finally went to Kappa, which was on the top floor of the Four Seasons. They have a beautiful view overlooking. You can see Epcot on one side. You can see Magic Kingdom on the other side. There's a fireworks view if the fireworks go off at the right time. And we were seated right next to the window there, so we could see the fireworks from our table, actually. We had ordered, when we go out, we tend to order a bunch of different appetizers and try everything together. And so that's what we did. We ordered a bunch of appetizers, tapas, and then we ordered 2 entrees to be shared amongst the 4 of us. It was us with Jen Pulliam. I have some of the pictures. That was the pan con tomato. And my reaction to that was I like Jaleo's better.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Second that.
Yeah.
And then Amanda and I went and had at Toledo at the final day of our trip. And that was much superior to this one as
really,
well.
Really.
Much less expensive.
And now you guys went and you discovered that at Toledo, you were there on the wrong day of the week. Because the 40% off was Monday through Thursday. This was a Thursday. I said at the end of the meal, like, we could have went to Toledo and got 40% off.
Yeah.
But-
Amanda and I, spoiler alert, that we went on our final day. What was that? Sunday. To Toledo, and we're like, "Oh, this is going to be great. We're going to get 40% off." We made a reservation, and we walked in, and we're like, "All right, Mr. Waiter, we are ready for our 40% discount." He was like, "I have terrible news for you. It's not the right day. You come back tomorrow, you're good to go."
So we thought we were ordering peppers, right?
Yeah.
We thought we were ordering peppers, and it was really white. It was, is that navy beans or?
Is this a video podcast now?
No, I just pulled over those pictures to remind us, and this was the only pictures I could get. Everything else was live, and this thing doesn't like. I need the menu.
I was so worried this was going to be video, and I've been like just walking around laying down in bed.
No, it's not. It's not video. I just pulled these pictures over to remind us.
Well,
But
they were some kind of bean, a large bean.
But I want to see the description because we all thought we were ordering peppers.
And the peppers.
Yeah, but what we're looking at in this photo and what we ate are white beans the size of quarters, a smattering of chopped up tiny little red peppers, anchovies, some looks like manchego cheese or some kind of a crumbled cheese. And all it tasted like was salty beans. That was not at all the peppers that I thought you were hoping for.
You know why I wanted those peppers? Because at Bazaar in Vegas, I wanted those peppers and they didn't have them.
Yeah, they let us down. Jose let us down, and then Mr. Kappa let us down.
Let us down even more. They're not even on the menu. Like on the menu that is on Open Table.
They've already been removed, replaced by burrata.
I don't see them even on the menu. I don't know. It was peppered. The menu description was pepper forward, and the actual item was pepper. Yeah, it was bean forward. The shrimp were good. They were good. They were shrimp that were good. There was cauliflower that was barely cooked.
Yes.
Bland. So bland as well. I mean, if you've had the gobi Manchurian at Spice Road Table or
Nomad Lounge
anywhere else, yeah, it's so much better than this. That was not good.
Just imagine cauliflower on a crudité platter, and that is basically what we got.
Yeah. The dates were good. These were bacon wrapped dates. I don't remember what kind of cheese was inside them, but they were very good. But they're supposed to be 3 to the tapas, but there were 4 of us, so she was nice enough to. I mean, we got 4. Somebody told me, don't order the paella. What is the paella? Remind me, Glenn. What is paella?
What is this paella, or what is actual paella?
What do you consider paella?
Waste of his stomach space.
Paella is just rice. We don't waste our time on rice.
No, you said paella is the wedge salad of Spanish restaurants.
Oh yes. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's what you said.
Yeah, but it's stomach filler. We don't do this.
Paella is delicious. Just not this delicious. Paella.
This was not a typical paella. This was not a typical paella. And the mushrooms were hard. Like the cauliflower. I don't know.
This brought me back to Sear and Sea, and when we ordered those
mushrooms,
the mushrooms that were very vinegary and just kind of unenjoyable, and that's how the mushrooms were. The paella did not have that paella kick, that tomatoey.
It didn't have the crunchy on the bottom either.
Yeah.
It wasn't good paella. We did get 2 entrees. We got was that a bone-in ribeye?
Yeah, I think so.
And that was good, but I think the star of the show was the pork, which I don't think I have a picture of.
Was that smear? I'm sorry, Richie was not there to see that one.
Yeah, there's this. You guys can't see the picture. There's a smear on the plate that looks like somebody didn't clean their shorts. Let's just put it that way. But Rebecca, tell us about the pork. I can't find the picture.
That was the best thing. It was Iberico, but we're all probably used to getting it really thinly sliced, but it was cooked kind of like a steak or a pork chop. And was that a romesco sauce?
Yes, it was.
I think so, yeah.
So that was definitely the best thing we had would get that again, but probably not worth going to Kappa to get it.
The romesco sauce that they used to have over at Tiffin's and Nomad Lounge with the squid, significantly more deep and flavorful, more umami flavor. This was a very thinly flavorful romesco. Still nice, but not a home run for me either. This was, I would agree, the best thing that we ate, that and the bacon wrap dates. But I would maybe give them a 6 or a 7 out of 10 at most. And those were the best items that we had.
I do want to add, our meal was around fireworks time. Our server did pace the meal and offer to hold the meal in the kitchen if we wanted to go outside and see the fireworks. We did. The fireworks were supposed to be at 8:20. They didn't start. We stood out there. We got up, we took our drinks, we went outside onto the balcony, which is beautiful. And the fireworks didn't happen. We saw the Epcot fireworks, but the Magic Kingdom fireworks were late that night for some reason. And we just kind of gave up and went back inside.
And then they started up.
Right. But
we'd given up at that point already.
Right. When we left, we all kind of talked. We've had some nice meals together in the past. And last year, right around this time, we had gone. Where did we go last year? I'm losing my mind.
Here in
for Tori's birthday. Monsieur Paul, right? And we were less excited about that meal immediately after it than we were after Kappa. And we compared the two, and we said, no, I think that was actually better than Kappa. We figured out all the good things that were on that menu, and there were more good things than there were on the Kappa menu.
Yeah, both disappointments, but I feel like Monsieur Paul was half of what we got was really good. It was like amazingly good. Would go back again for those items. In fact, they gave us some options at Monsieur Paul's to kind of redesign. They're like, after you come the first time, you can get a little more creative with our, kind of prefix meal. But I would never go back to Kappa. I don't think there was any item there that would call me back, that would make me think I would want to go there. I know you've had great experiences at Ravello. And so
I've only been there for breakfast. I really want to go there for dinner. Well, yeah. Your favorite podcaster, Bethany, she likes Ravello for dinner.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
But now let's move on to my new favorite place.
Okay, we will. So I just want to add that meal with drink, it actually was more, the price was better than we expected. It was $400 for the four of us with cocktails. I think we each got a cocktail. I don't know, maybe I got a Diet Coke that meal. But it was all right. It wasn't that terrible price-wise, but we weren't that happy with what we got. So yeah. So the next night we went to Cake Bake Shop, and everything that Kappa wasn't, I think Cake Bake Shop was. It's really funny because Kappa was high end, and you would think that experience would be better. We went to Cake Bake Shop. We got sandwiches. We did get our burrata, and but we actually had a better experience. Rebecca, you had gumbo?
I did. It was so good. And it was actually spicy, not Disney spicy, like regular, real spicy.
Yeah, which Disney tends to downplay the spice. So yeah, I've heard that Gwendolyn Rogers is from Louisiana, and the Louisiana menu items like the gumbo are legit. That they're really good. And Deirdre, whose husband was from Louisiana, has said, yeah, this was really good. This reminds me of Louisiana. So
I would eat it every time.
Our server, Veronica, was the star of the show. I mean, she made the experience
love of my
even
life.
better. She really did. She made the experience even better. We had a burrata salad. It came with crostini. There was a big, long explanation, Rebecca, you missed it, about, do you want crostini or do you want a baguette? And we got the crostini. It was good. It was nice to accompany the burrata. I got the chicken velvet soup, which I had when I went in March. I really like that soup. That soup it's really good. It came with a little piece of baguette, and it was delicious.
The croque monsters.
Right. Yeah. which
were
I think
giant.
right. Jen and I shared one, and even shared, we couldn't finish it. It was very gooey and cheesy, maybe a little too much. I don't know. Can it be too much?
I had heard this leading into it, and although I had done very well the weekend prior with Rebecca and her parents at us like ramping down the quantity of food we were actually ordering, we failed miserably at the cake bake shop to restrain ourselves and getting 2 croque monsieurs. There was some discussion of going with one of the madames, but I think we were feeling a little. It was later in the day, and we'd been enjoying ourselves that day, and you needed our stomachs to have something a little more stable. So the non-egg sitting on the top. But between the two of those, a full gumbo, a half gumbo, your soup, the burrata, we ate a lot of food came down, and then of course it's the cake bake shop, so we had to save some room for cake after that.
Yeah. How was that lemon blueberry cake you got? Because we had the raspberry cake that we talked about a few months ago with Tori. So you guys got the new cake, the lemon blueberry. Was it good?
Oh, I didn't realize it was the new cake.
Well, no, it's not the new cake. It's we've already talked about the raspberry.
New
one.
to us.
New for the Disney Crush. Hot off the All right. So I thought it was outstanding. Every element was delicious on its own. It was great together. It was not overly sweet, but I'll tell you what, it was overly filling. It was so rich and filling and delicious. We ate some that night. Obviously, we had over ordered on the savory items. We ate some the next morning and probably even the next morning after that, and still had some left over and tossed it, in the garbage. But it was so good. I would absolutely go on a cake eating tour, like Rebecca. I just want to go there every time we go. And I think we are going back in July. We're going to head back there. Yeah. We just made a reservation.
So I do want to just remind people that it's really hard to get reservations for Cake Bake Shop on the Disney app and the Disney website, but it's really easy to get reservations for the Cake Bake Shop on Open Table. So use Open Table. They are open every day from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. So there's plenty of seating. Veronica was amazing, like you said. And Rebecca, is there a little dragon that lives at the Cake Bake Shop?
Yes. So warning, do not bring any children to the Cake Bake Shop or child-like adults. Because they have their own characters and they all have a backstory, and every little kid that was there celebrating a birthday, they set out these stuffies, and then I started asking questions. Veronica pulls over a full tray of all of the things you can buy. And I did leave with a tiny brulee.
Right. Brulee is the dragon that sprinkles glitter all over the restaurant and turns on all the lights and everything. So,
yeah. Second warning, there is actual glitter all over the restaurant and all over the food, and therefore all over you.
Right. Absolutely.
And all over the drinks. We arrived about a half hour early for our reservation, and were welcomed into the bar area directly adjacent to the large center room where the carousel is. And we ordered their famous Black Swan drink, which everyone had been talking about. And it was, basically an espresso martini, a sprinkle of some chocolate on top in a crescent, and then for unbeknownst reasons dusted with an ungodly amount of glitter. Just a broom of glitter comes out and just flicks glitter all over the drink and the stem and the table and you. And so we were already starting with the glitter, and then when Brulee showed up an hour later at our table, there was just glitter overload, and we're still pulling glitter out of places we did not know glitter.
I had forgotten about when we went with Karen that it was her birthday and they made her blow glitter. I forgot all about that. She had to, and when you make a wish, but you blow the glitter, and the glitter went all over the table. Yeah. So be
glitter's
warned
on the cake, on every drink.
Right.
The glitter's everywhere.
Right. I want to say something about something I know. We went to Epcot 2 days in a row, and 2 days in a row, we ate at Connections Cafe. And I turned to Rebecca at some point, and I said, when this was the electric umbrella, I wouldn't have eaten here once in a trip, let alone 2 days in a row. So I think Connections Cafe has become a welcome addition to Epcot. We had the pizza. Rebecca and I had salads the second day, the General Tso's chicken salad. And
really good.
yeah, and the pizza is really good for theme park pizza. I think better than what's at Via Napoli. Don't tell people I said that.
I agree with you. It's not New York pizza, but it is, I think, the best pizza you're going to get on property.
I can only offer one tip for folks because you guys mobile ordered. The mobile order was only available to start 40 minutes after when we had logged on. We were over at the Living with the Land. I opted out of the next ride and said, I'm just going to head over to Connections and I'm just going to stand in line real quick and order a slice of pizza and eat it. I'll have one ready for Amanda. And we had a plan and everything like that. I waited in line for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So whatever that wait line tells you in the middle of a hot, busy Epcot day, that's probably where you're going to wait in real life. And that's why they're giving you that number. Just order it and go do something else with your life.
Right. Plan ahead of time. If we're going to be hungry at 12, think of looking at that menu at 10:30, 11 and place your order for 12. Was there any other restaurants? Do you want to talk about the Boathouse?
Can I just backtrack to Cape Bake Shop real quick? Because the French fries were outstanding. And they had like
fries?
they were incredibly thin shoestring fries, truffle oil on top. And then there was on my croque monsieur plate, I think this was for the fries. Maybe it was for the croque, but there was a buttery, cheesy bechamel-y type of sauce.
I thought it was a garlic aioli.
Yeah, it was. That was right. It was garlic, and it was. Yeah, I thought it was the bechamel, but it wasn't. You're right. That was what the croque was cooked in. But it was a garlic, and it was so delicious. It was so good. So I would strong recommendation on just like getting a bucket of fries if you like potatoes. Yeah. And then the only other thing I wanted to say about Cape Bake is, and everybody knows this, but it is absolutely beautiful. Everything is white and pearlescent and color, and I think this just like makes you cool in the heat and elevated in your spirit. I just felt like the whole vibe, there twinkly lights everywhere. Everything's well appointed and touched. And I've heard an interview with Gwendolyn Rogers talking about how much care she gave to every choice that went into everything from the molding to little touches here. There are actually little Disney deep story, not actually Disney, but like the like Disney deep theming. She's given that kind of care and thought to the design of that place. It is a feast for your mouth, for your nose, but also for your eyes. And that just should be said out loud. I would just love to sit in there and just enjoy the vibe and have some French fries and another Black Swan. Yeah.
I'd like to, I've been there for lunch now. I've been there for dinner. I think I'd like to try breakfast too, because that's maybe the next thing I'd like to try.
Wait, but did you see that they have gumbo poutine?
Oh, I didn't see that.
So the French fries with the gumbo on top.
No, this is insane. Stop. Do you remember when we were in shape, Rebecca? I don't anymore. No. Now that we eat gumbo French fries.
We did have two other reservations. One was for Summer House, which we've talked about before. I think we had things that you guys. I mean, I know you had the Brussels sprout salad before. What did you have for dinner? On
the pizza, which I've also had.
You've had the pizza before, yeah. And I had a burger, which was a burger. I was just in the mood for a burger that night. It was good. It was very good, actually. But we really enjoyed ourselves. And the next day when we were going home, Amanda and I went and sat at the bar because we were waiting for Glenn. I ordered cookies to take home to Michael right at the bar. I just sat at the bar. I ordered a drink, and I said, and I'd like some cookies to go. And they brought them right to me. I didn't have to wait in the line. So that's a nice little touch. If you want cookies and a drink, just order them at the bar. Our last reservation was brunch at the Boathouse. It's advertised as the Captain Sing-Along Brunch. So I will right away tell you that if you want to be at the Captain Sing-Along Brunch, tell them I want to be in the room with the sing-along, because we were placed in a very quiet room in the back and we didn't hear any music. Well, we heard the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack or something. but it wasn't. There was no piano players. This was a piano player and a sing along, and we were really into that idea. But we didn't get any of that. But we had some good food, right?
Well, we were also very into it. I think so. I brought captain's hats, which I'd ordered on Amazon, and brought those in for everyone to wear. Actually, if you go to the captain's brunch and you wear a captain's hat, you get a little treat. You get a free mimosa. And we also found out while we were there that you can actually not upgrade that, but side grade that to pear mimosa or any of the other mimosa type options that they have.
Right.
There. So
a Bellini, I think he said, yeah.
Yeah, Bellini. So 2 of us got pear, 2 of us got the regular. I went to the restroom at some point right as they were transitioning it to start the captain's breakfast, the music, the live pianist, kind of working there. I went into the restroom. In the restroom, they pipe in the same soundtrack that we were listening to, which was a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy songs. I don't know why. And then it cut off in the middle, of my visit. And then there seemed to be some man just singing Elton John songs, came on. And I heard it in half the restaurant, which is up in the front. And then when I walked back to our room, it transitioned back to the Guardians soundtrack again. So at that point, they were then, separating the restaurant, and you would only get to hear the live music if you were in the front half of the restaurant where the raw bar and obviously the restrooms and everything are.
So tell them that when you're seated, that when they seat you, that you want us to. I was disappointed by that because we were looking forward to that. So. But the food was good. Amanda, you liked what you had, right? Amanda?
Yes, I loved the cheesy grits. They were so good.
If your server at Boathouse says, are you sure you want a whole serving for yourself?
Yes.
There should be a follow-up question like, why? Is it really big?
Next time.
Amanda and I each ordered our own order of cheesy grits, and they were huge, and we could have shared one bowl.
Like the size of your head.
They were huge bowls, and they were only $5.
Right. There's no way I thought it would have been that big for $5. I would honestly just eat the grits. Like I also got avocado toast, but the grits were the clear winner.
Yeah, and Toni-Ann also got deep fried shrimp in addition to that. Yeah, I think both of you probably could have picked one or the other of those, and then probably even just split that one shrimp and grits. But it was good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the cheesy grits. Yeah.
Yes, and I ate a lot more of my grits than Toni-Ann did, but I only ate half of my grits.
Yeah, you kept nibbling away even after it had started to congeal. You were still enjoying it.
It only got better.
The grits were really good.
And that mac and cheese is so good.
Yeah. What'd you have?
We had the mac and cheese on a previous visit and knew that it was spicy and andouille sausage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And shrimp, of course.
Yeah.
And then I got the tacos, chorizo breakfast tacos. So chorizo, eggs, avocado, some cheese, and it was really good. Everything was good there, I thought.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And really interesting to us was they have it, everywhere we go, we always have to split our bills and figure out who got what. They have a QR code right on the table, and it brought up the check on your phone, and you just on the phone, you click, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this. And then it brings up your individual bill, and you can pay it on your phone so that there's no, how much was that? And how to split the bill. It split the bill for you perfectly. Also, Cake Bake Shop split the bill. If you noticed, we all shared the burrata, and on our individual checks, it said quarter burrata, half croque. Like it split the bill perfectly for us too, which was nice. I think some of these restaurants are coming around to the fact that friends go together and like to split the bill. So.
Yeah, that made me very happy to see both of those, and to hear at Boathouse they were like, we're starting to pioneer this technology, and I think others are going to start to do similar. That to recognize how many adults are going there. Just total side note: we got off the monorail at some point, Amanda and I, as we were, and 100 people got off the monorail, no children.
Wow.
It was all adults. And and I said something. I was like, wow, this is really shocking. Like there's only adults here. I think that, that Disney is absolutely, fully, maybe it's the price point. Maybe it was the time of year or day or something like that. Schools are still in session. But to recognize that Disney is very much being frequented by Disney adults, who I know a lot of you who are listening to this are Disney adults, and that Disney is, I think, recognizing that and listening and making adjustments to the way that they do business to help cater more to giving us an enjoyable experience. But that was just an easy process. As soon as at Boathouse, as soon as someone had paid for an item, that item was then not available to be paid for. So then the next person that came up only had I was the last person to pay. There were only 2 things left. Well, actually there were 6 because
there was a little snafu with the free mimosas, but the manager figured it out for us.
Yeah, we just left them on there and unpaid, and that was enough. So.
And then we walked away. No, we actually talked to the manager, made sure it was cool that we walked away. But yeah.
Can I only add on that Amanda and I stayed for an extra day, basically.
Oh, yeah, you went to Toledo. That's right,
We went to Toledo. And although we did not pay only 40% of what we should have paid, we paid 100%. We still had a really great time. And I know on this podcast and others, we have talked about how Toledo has let us down. I want to say, Amanda, this was a very pleasurable experience. I mean, the company was wonderful, of course, but the food was really good too. You want to speak to anything? I've got pictures I can post for you.
The tomato toast
was better than with Kappa. We've already said that.
It was so good. And then we had some octopus.
Nice.
And we had olives. What else did we have besides the gazpacho, which was very cucumber heavy, so I did not enjoy the gazpacho.
I learned something on this trip. Amanda Lamb does not like cucumbers of any sort, anywhere near her drinks or her food, and so.
But you like pickle shots.
I love.
She likes pickles.
Yeah, I like cucumbers if they're pickled.
Okay,
but I do not like regular cucumbers. I do not like watermelon. Whatever that flavor is that's in both of those.
Yeah,
I just don't like it.
Well, for
she will
those
very happily offer you whatever cucumbers are near her food for those that do like cucumbers.
Yeah, with one and only one exception. Din Tai Fung. Din Tai Fung spicy cucumbers. Those
cucumbers I will eat every day of my life if I could.
Yes, same.
For those who do like cucumber, that gazpacho was really, really flavorful. And in summer, when we're just getting into that heat, we had some 95-degree days down in Orlando. The gazpacho was incredibly refreshing and very flavorful. So I enjoyed that, even though Amanda did not. That was good. And so Toledo, very, very, very pleasant experience. We also had the perfect seat right up against the window.
Oh, nice.
Although, of course, both of us went to the restroom to enjoy the view there, which is really
from the toilets. Right. Right. All right, guys. Well, thank you for that. I want to thank Rebecca Rudin, Amanda Lamb, and Glen Kessler. We had so much fun talking about our weekend, and I can't wait to do it again with them. We had a whole lot. I can't help but say a lot of fun. We just had a great time, and it's always a good time with my friends at Walt Disney World. If you would like to join our private Facebook group, the Friends of the Disney Crush, we are on Facebook. Like I said, just join us and I will let you in if you answer a few questions. And you can get to know some of our friends a little better, find out a little bit more about some of these experiences we had. We always post pictures and you can see what it was like at the restaurants and the Speakeasy. Join the Friends of Disney Crush. If you are not a Facebook person and you want to reach out to myself or David, you can always reach us at thedisneycrush@gmail.com. Give us a show idea. Reach out to us. Tell us if you'd like to be a guest. We would love to hear from you at thedisneycrush@gmail.com. I can't wait to talk to some new friends, so be sure to reach out to us. Thanks again to our guests, Glenn, Rebecca, and Amanda. And we hope to see you next week. Hopefully Dave will be back next week on the next Disney Crush podcast. Bye.
I think that's it. All right.
Turkey and truth has spoken.
Put a check on that. Can you do that, Dave? Can you put a check on that one?